Good morning, everyone, and thank you all for being here today. We are joined by several members of our team: APD Chief Rodney Bryant, APD Deputy Chief Charles Hampton Jr., APD LGBTQ Liaison Senior Patrol Officer Eric King, APD Deputy Chief Michael O'Connor, Deputy Chief Operating Officer LaShondra Burks, Malik Brown, our Director of LGBTQ Affairs, City of Atlanta, and also Dr. Carlos Del Rio of Emory University, Rollins School of Public Health. Have I missed anyone? All right. So there are two things we're going to talk about today. One is crime, and the second is COVID. I'm sure that you all will have a lot of questions about the mask mandate, and we are very fortunate to have what I call Dr. Del Rio as our COVID angel in the city. He has been an advisor to us, answering our calls day and night on questions big and small about COVID. So I'm grateful that he's taken time to join us today. You all have heard me refer to this COVID crime wave that's been sweeping the nation. And I've given it that description because we are seeing acts of violence that we haven't seen in decades in this country. Primarily, these interactions are between people who know one another. All acts of violence are senseless, but one that struck a chord with all of us was last week with the murder of a young man, Jakari Dillard, who should be preparing for his senior year in high school. Instead, his family is preparing to bury him. But we've also seen a murder in our city, the likes of which we have not seen in quite some time. And I don't put this in the category of the COVID crime wave. This does not fit the description of anything that we've seen. Primarily, the violence that we've seen over the past year has been between people who know one another, people who have some type of interaction, and the vast majority of our murders have been as a result of gun violence. There was a horrific murder of Catherine Jonas, the victim who was found at Piedmont Park. Unfortunately, we still don't have all of the information that we need in her murder to make an arrest. I mentioned Jakari. We have an arrest warrant, and I will let Chief speak more in details about that if you all have any questions, because we knew who the perpetrator was almost immediately. With Ms. Jonas, we are still seeking help from the public. And what I ask you as members of the media is to please be responsible in what you are reporting. There are a lot of rumors, a lot of false information that is being spread. It is not helpful to this investigation, and it makes it even more difficult and time-consuming when APD and our investigators have to shoot down these rumors. And it feeds into a narrative that will not help us get this monster off of the street. So we just ask that as you are reporting on this murder, or any murder in this city, that you please get your information directly from APD and be responsible in not running with unnamed sources who likely don't know what they are speaking about. Also, Dr. Del Rio, as I said, is going to give more information on where we are with COVID. So I will come back and I will address matters related to COVID after we are able to hear from Chief Bryant and also hear from Deputy Chief Hampton. Chief Bryant.